Hey there, what's up? This is Paul Murphy. So if you want to build a consultancy funnel and you want to be able to build one in half an hour with an integrated calendar, autoresponder sequence and everything, then I'm going to show you how we're going to be able to do that today inside of Kartra. Now, if you've never heard of Kartra or you've never tried it, you can actually try it for $1 for 2 week trial. You can cancel anytime. You get full access to the entire platform. So I'll put a link down below. You can actually sign up for Kartra. And if you sign up underneath me, you actually get a bunch of bonuses as well. I actually show you how to generate all the traffic you ever need utilizing YouTube without putting yourself on camera. But what we're going to do is we're going to dig right in, and as you can see, like, we generate insane commissions, and I don't spend a single penny on traffic. Basically, this is all free traffic, and Kartra's got such a amazing system. That's why I use Kartra for everything. But I'm going to show you how to build a consultancy system. So if you want to take bookings for your clients, or you want to basically just create a funnel so that people can book into and talk with you, so that they can book into your calendar, they can do the whole thing inside of Kartra. So we're going to build it from start to finish. Now, the first thing we need to do to build this, we need to build your framework. So we want to build out your pages, we want to build out your forms, and we want to build out your calendar. Okay, so what we need for this is an opt-in form, a video sales page, which is like a presentation page, and a thank you page. And then on top of that, we need a form for the opt-in, we need a form for the calendar, and we need to build a calendar. So we do those first, and then what we do is we go back and we just tie everything in together. So the first thing we're going to do is create some pages. So now what we do is we create a category first. So if we go to my pages, okay, and we would then go to create a page. Now we've got 3 pages here. That one's, I'm just going to delete that. That shouldn't be there. So we've got the 3 pages. Now basically I just filmed this for you already, and actually I didn't switch the sound on. So there you go. So basically we're going to go back in and like reconfigure it. Now the first thing you would do is you would click select a page. Okay, so when you're inside of your Kartra account, just so you know, you're on my pages on the left hand side. We just want to go create a page. Okay, and then we want to squeeze page. So we would then select a squeeze page from down here. Now the one I selected was this one. You would press select here and then click launch builder. I'm not going to do that because I've already done it, but I'm actually going to come into the page that I did here. And by pressing this is exactly the same. You'd give it a name, and then this is your launch builder. This is exactly the same place it takes you to. So this is where you'll come in when you'll get into your page builder. So obviously there's a bunch of templates down there. You can choose any one that you want, or you can start from scratch. They have everything integrated, like they have amazing blocks. I'm just going to show you a couple of the features as well, just so that you can understand. But if you notice up on the left-hand side here, there's a full tutorial of Kartra. I'll show you everything, all the amazing features you can get. So obviously you can click that at any time during this video. If you want to go and check out Kartra, come back here. Or if at the end, I'll put a card at the end so you can actually go and check out Kartra at the end if it's kind of like inspired you to check it out a bit deeper. So here we go. So this is the page here that we created. Now, a couple of things to note here is that we're going to have to come back into this page in a little while, because we're going to need to select the form that we're going to create in a moment. And also what I did here is I just put in a logo. Now, this is obviously pre-formulated. You can take these out. You can put in different blocks, and you can actually put, you can actually formulate this how you want. Now, I quite like the way this is laid out, so I'm going to leave this, but I would just want to show you, obviously, if you wanted to change the logo, which I've already changed, you would just click on, you can just highlight anything. You can select a different image. I'm just going to come down here and show you. This is the one I selected. So we select that, we click confirm, and then we press apply, and it will come up massive. It didn't come up massive this time because we've already done it. But basically we can resize it by this. So if we wanted to make it bigger or smaller, we can obviously do that. I kind of like it about that sort of size. So so there we go, and that's done. And then we need to come back and configure some other things later. But obviously you would put in your video sales. Now, if you're creating videos, you can upload videos onto Kartra. You don't need to use Vimeo, YouTube, or Wistia. You can literally upload into Kartra. Kartra is an in-house everything. It basically tracks your pages. It gives you all the CRM. It tells you, like, it's incredible. It's got everything you need. So so that's that done. And what we're going to do is we're just going to press save. So the reason we're coming in and creating the pages is so that we can get the links, right? Because we need the links and we need the pages created. Now, when you first publish a page inside of Kartra, you have the option, it will have, you'll just need to connect a domain. When you sign up for Kartra, they show you how to do that, really simple. But obviously, if you want to, what it will do here is it will show your Kartra URL. And then once your domain's connected, you can put that there. And then there's usually a bit of gobbledygook at the end. You can obviously put anything you want in here. So we're going to do that. We're going to call it hello. Okay. And then what I normally do is just grab that, put it into a text document over here. Okay. As you can see, because I did this before, I've done that and called it opt-in. So that is now our opt-in page ready to go. And we'll come back to that in a bit. So we then go publish live. Obviously, that's the only way you get the URL. And then we return to dashboard. So it's just kind of obviously building out the framework. So the next page we want to create is our VSL. So obviously I've created it, but I'm just going to show you again. You click on add page. Okay. You would go video sales page. And I think the one I chose was this one. Okay. Just click select. Okay. And then go launch builder. Okay. Oh, by the way, yeah, what I didn't show you is I created a category. Now, the reason you create a category is that you might have lots of pages inside. I'll show you in a moment. But you want to just click this and create a category for this funnel. Okay. Now, I called it booking. So look, as you can see, we can basically call it whatever we want. And then we'll add it to that category once it's created. Okay. And the reason I've done that is that you will now see that when I come in here and go into booking, all the pages that I create in this funnel are inside of here. So you want to do that on your first page, by the way. You want to do that on that one, and then you can add them all in as you go. So instead of obviously launching builder, I'm just going to go to edit here, which is the same as launch builder. As you can see, that's now in booking. Obviously, if it wasn't, you could add it in here afterwards. So you just want a category for all of these pages, and then you go to edit. And here we go. So we're inside of here now. And basically all I did was I added a logo. I took the top bit out here. And I just want to show you this as well. This is really cool. So Kartra is slightly different to any of the other landing page software you've got. That it's completely responsive. And responsive by what I mean is that all of these blocks and everything are created to be ultimately responsive. So instead of kind of configuring different areas and putting in, you know, trying to change the size of different things and kind of trying to work them all out, which you have to do in a lot of the other pages, we literally can just delete a block. Now, as you can see here, I've got a block here. I'm going to delete that. Okay. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go to components and we're going to choose a testimonial section. Section. Always get those mixed up. So we'll just choose a testimonial. And as you can see, we've got our own, we can obviously save our own templates. This is one of my, sections, so we can actually go down here. That one's quite good, that one's quite good. We want something that kind of looks really nice. That's pretty funky. So what I'm going to do is actually in this instance I'm going to choose this one here, and then it will just say drop here. We obviously want it above, and as you can see, that is fantastic. And then if you want to select the different mobile devices, tablets, absolutely amazing. And this is why we love Kartra. So obviously you can do that with any of these sections. So if you want to get rid of all of this and just put something else in, you can. Obviously you can do that as well. So all we're doing, again, we're going to come back and change this a bit later, but what we need to do is basically just get the pages created. So we're just going to go publish live. Again, we're going to get the page or link. We're going to change this because this is going to be all gobbledygook. This is going to go have loads of numbers and letters. We're going to choose our own domain. We're going to put in something that's nice and neat there. We're going to click tick, and then we're just going to basically add that, copy, add that to our notepad. So we've got that as well. Okay, it's not essential to add it to a notepad because we can actually select pages inside a Kartra, so we don't need to kind of copy paste this, but I just do it anyway. It's kind of force of habit, I suppose. And then I know I've got my funnel. I've got all my funnel links if I ever need them. So that's it. So that's done. And then that's published because we changed that. I'm not sure if we just did that. So we've done that. I do that quite often, publishing live. So we then go to return to dashboard. So that's our second page done. So we've now got to create one more page, 2 forms and a calendar. Okay. And the last page we want to create is a thank you page. So as you can see, you would go to add page. You would select, actually, I'll just show you. You can, they have all the kind of different pages that you can select. So I just chose a thank you page from here, which is this one here. Okay, so we're going to actually do a little bit of changes to it. So we're going to go in, go edit. So there we go. So we're just going to put our logo in here. I'm just going to show you how to do that again. If it can get it to come up. Actually, what I might do, there we go. This might come out really small. So a little trick that I've learned, if that happens, is just to no, that's absolutely fine. Okay, so we'll select that there. And what I'm going to put in here is, I'm just going to put okay, I'm just going to put that on the second line. Something like that. And then I'm just going to get rid of all of this because we don't need a download button. We don't need social share for a thank you page. Probably not. Okay, now sometimes when you delete stuff, you'll see this, but that's fine. That won't appear on the page. If you can actually delete any of the sections at the side, but it will delete the whole thing. So we'll leave that as is. That's absolutely nice. Obviously, we would change that if we want to, but I just wanted to create that a little. Oh, no, we don't want to return to Bashboard. We want to publish first. And then we're obviously going to grab our link again, change the link to something nice. Okay, get page link again. We're just going to select that one, change this from the gobbledygook that's here to something nice. Grab the link, put it there. Okay, and then that's it. So we've now created all the basic pages. We just need to create two forms. So the first form we need to create is an opt-in form. So I'm just going to talk you through what we're creating here and why. So as you can see in this booking form here, so if we go to categories here, we go to booking, you'll see that we've got these 3 pages. So on this booking form here, there's going to be, I'm just going to show you. You can actually see here, there's a form here. And now this is going to be asking us, when we go to configure this page, it's going to ask us to connect it to a form. So we need to create a form. Okay, and also when we create a calendar, it's going to ask us to do the same. So we need to create 2 forms. So the first form we need to create is this one here, which is the strategy booking form. So we're going to go, normally you would go onto this button and put create a form, right? And then you'd give it a name. And then once you give it a name, you'd come into here. Okay, and then I'm going to talk you through all the fields. I've obviously created all these, but we're going to talk you through. Now, the first thing, a little trick here that I learned, which is pretty good. If you want to get really... if you want to get really high quality leads, so people actually giving you their real email addresses that I always put in here, you can change this to make it required. So that's required. Email address. You can actually change the label. So I've put in here best email address, and then in brackets I put for access. And then that way the brain doesn't think too hard when they're putting in an email address, but if they see something that they know that they're going to need to put in their kind of better email address, the one that they use, not the fake one that they don't really use, then you know, it's going to save them time to putting in their real email address. And then that means when you communicate with them in future, obviously you're going to have a valid email address and not a spam email address that they don't really use. And sometimes they put in fake email addresses. So I just actually changed this. Normally it just says email address, but I just put in best email address for access or something like that, which just helps you convert better leads. You know, leads are quite valuable. Obviously, we can communicate, we can sell to people later on. Lots of different things we can do. So obviously, the better we do this. And there's another way of actually making sure it's a quality lead is you can put in a double opt-in. But because I've taken care of it there, really, I put a single opt-in because it just makes life easier. But a double opt-in does make sense in a lot of instances, like for instance, if you're creating forms for a membership site or something like that, where you know that they're going to need to confirm it, otherwise they're not going to be able to access their membership site. You know, things like that, a double opt-in, all that means is that they will get an email saying that they need to confirm their email address before they can go further. Okay, single opt-in means that they'll just be subscribed to your list. So I have a single opt-in on that one. Okay, and then this is why we had to create the pages up front, because now we need to select our page. So as you can see, we created our category booking, and these are our 3 pages. So we want them, when they opt in, to go to our VSL page, which is our second page. So we just click that and click save, and then we move on. Okay, and then you can send a welcome message. If you're just getting them to opt into a calendar and you're not going to be following up with them, you can actually create your email here. Okay, I'm actually going to show you that very quickly, and then we'll go save. Once you click save, it opens up the email here. So you could do this, and you would obviously be able to create an email here. Now, I'm going to come into this in a moment because we need to create a sequence. I'm going to show you how to use this, but it's the same inside the sequence as it is here. But this is if you only want to create one email. Now, I recommend, obviously, not doing that here, simply because we are going to create a sequence. We usually follow up with anybody booking a call 2 or 3 times to indoctrinate them properly. So we're basically going to leave that. Okay, so we're not going to send an email. Okay, then what we do want to do is we want to assign tags, because we want this tag to be triggering off our email sequence. So what we do here is we basically, normally this will say don't assign tags, so you press yes, assign tags. Okay, and then you're going to select a category. Now this category booking is not the same as the category we just created, so you're going to need to create this in a moment. So I would leave that as no category in particular. Create a tag, okay, and then when you create the tag, you can create the new category, which would be booking, right? So we've called this, I've actually already done this, so it's called booking. So I'm going to get rid of this. So the category that we just, if you do it that way, basically create a tag, okay, call it booking, and then create your category here, call it booking, because this category will not come up from the category before, because that's the pages category. This is the tags category, right? So you need to create the category here. Okay, and then that'll appear, and then once you've done that, you then select it here, booking, select your tag, booking, okay, and then that'll add it there, okay, and once it's down here, you can click save. Okay, now a lot of people get confused here because they think I've just done that, and then I can't click save. It's because you have to click this add button, just so you know. And then what we do, we definitely want to subscribe them to a list, so obviously we need to create a new list. Again, I called that list booking. Okay, so you would do that there, and then you'd put a public description in if you ever want to share your list or share your funnel. Okay, so the list here is bookings. Okay, actually I've already done that, so I'm just going to get rid of these. So I'm going to put in bookings. Okay, so I'm going to add them to that list. Now I always actually get everyone on a catch-all list, just in case I ever want to market to my entire list without having to segregate. I have a catch-all as well, so I put them in there as well. So you can obviously create these lists. So if you're new to Kartra and you don't have a list, you can obviously, I think you can just create lists inside of here. There we go. You can create lists here, so you don't need to go and create those. But we obviously want them subscribed to the right list. And then where it says subscribe to sequences here, we have to have this as off at the moment. We have to come back and do this because we haven't created this sequence yet, so we need to come back and do this. So we basically need to come back into everything and reconfigure once we've set everything up. But obviously, whatever we create in whatever order, we're going to have to go back and reconfigure something. It's kind of just the way you have to do it. So we're going to leave that off, and we'll come back to that, and we just make a note that we need to do that. So inside of that form, we need to basically subscribe them to that sequence. Okay, so that's done. Okay, and that's the strategy called booking. Okay, now we need to create the one for the actual calendar. Okay, so this is, again, it's slightly different. And the only difference really here is that we are going to need to forward them to a different page. So it's kind of almost identical. So the way I did this is I actually just cloned it. Okay, and then this created this. And then what I did was where it came up here, it came up with, it said that clone, and then I just changed it to the actual name that I wanted. So it will basically say the same as the other one, and then with the word clone on the end. Get rid of that, call it booking calendar form or whatever, and then you're good to go. Okay, and then it's all created for you. The only difference that you have to do here is you might want to change the for access, which I did. So we'll go in here. Okay, and I changed that to for confirmation instead of for access. But again, it's just whatever's relevant to you. It is kind of access because I do need to send them an access link to the actual call. But it just seemed to flow a bit better when I put for confirmation again, and I've kept that the same. So, you can obviously change that. And then the confirmation is now going to the thank you page, not to the VSL, right? Because they've now booked the calendar. So we have that going to the thank you page. Okay. Because they're going to send the VSL, they're going to click the button, they're going to book a calendar. And when they book a calendar, there's a booking form. This is the form that they use. So it goes to the VSL when they're finished. And then we're not going to send them a welcome message because we're already doing that within our sequence. In fact, they are going to get a booking confirmation form, as you can see from here. Actually, from the calendar, not from here. Sorry, yeah, I got a bit confused. So basically, yeah, we don't send them anything because they get a booking confirmation from the calendar itself. Okay, and that will come out, like an hour before or a day before the actual call. So we don't need to send anything else. If we want to send a welcome email, we can. Okay, we do definitely want to assign a tag here. Now, the reason we do this is because in the automation that we're coming up, we can basically stop sending them emails if they've already booked a call. So as we're following up with them, we're sort of, indoctrinating them, sending them great emails every day. Once they actually then book a call with us, we don't want to keep trying to indoctrinate them, right? So we want to add a tag in. So what we do is we create a new tag again. Okay, we're going to put it in this category, in our booking category. Okay, and the tag is call booked. Okay, you can do that here. You can just put that in here, put it in our category and call it call booked or something, or whatever's relevant to you. So we definitely want that, and I'll show you why in a moment. Okay, so that's done. And we do not subscribe them to a list with this because they're already subscribed to everything. We don't need to kind of add them to anything else. So this is just for the calendar. Okay, and then the form design, I leave that as the in Kartra page. Okay, we don't actually create this as a complete form. But if you are using this form on a different site, on your WordPress site, or say you're using ClickFunnels or anything like that, you can actually embed it with a code. Okay, so that's that. So we're done. So we've now created all 3 pages, 2 forms. Okay, now the next thing we need to do is create the calendar. Okay, so we come in here. So if you're using Calendly or Schedule Once or anything like that, you don't need to use that ever again. You've got this. Now, the only disadvantage with the calendar inside of here is that you do need to actually come into your Kartra account to see your agenda and your bookings. It's not integrated with iCal or Google Calendars or anything like that yet, but they have got this on the list. This is coming. Okay, so if you want to, spend like $20, $30, $40 a month on external software, then you can do so. And integrate it with those services, or you can use this one, just come in here every day. It's not a big deal really. And then that very, very soon they're going to be integrating this, and they're working on it right now. So once they've got that, that's kind of like a game changer as well. So again, we would create a calendar. Okay, we'll give it a name. I called it bookings. Okay. And then we would go to consultant model here. Okay, this is the one we want. And then we go create. All right. And then we would name the calendar. So we've got this here. So we're just going to go to edit, because this is the one I created. I called it bookings. Okay, and obviously we can update a logo. Now, I won't show you how to do that because that's fairly straightforward. Now on this one, we've got the custom marquee. Now this is kind of cool. You don't have to have one. Okay, it's kind of nice. So if you want to create your own, you can obviously upload your own image at these. If you're using Photoshop or Canva, you can just create something, or you can choose one of theirs, which is kind of cool. How smart is that? And yeah, so what I've done with this one, I'm going to choose that one because it's kind of funny. Okay, cool. So we'll basically just, we'll just leave it like that, and then we'll just click save. There we go. And then basically this is the schedule here. So you'll notice that these will all be ticked. So you can obviously choose the times here. You can take out the times you don't want. Basically, if you want people to book it, this is going to be when people can book a call with you. So this is the times that you're going to be available. So obviously you can put in whatever times you want here. So what I've done here is 9 to 5, Monday to Friday, 30-minute duration. We've also allowed a buffer of 30 minutes. So if it runs over 45 minutes, you've got enough time, and also you've got enough time to make a drink or get prepared for the next call. So that's really cool. And then also you've got, you can actually put in specifically available dates. If you're not available certain times, obviously you can take those out there. Okay, but what you can actually do, I just put that in as the entire year, because it's quite hard to kind of work out, like you can't do the 1st to the 7th and then the 9th to the 15th, right? So I just leave that exactly as is. And then what I tend to do is, this one here is a number of available sessions, and they should be subscribed to. So this is if you're using a gym or anything like that. Okay, and I usually do not allow bookings for same day, simply because if somebody books in for half an hour or something and I'm not prepared or haven't had a chance to kind of review their application or anything like that, I usually just give it a day. Okay, so they can book for tomorrow. Okay, and then specific dates here, this is the date, this is where we can block out dates. So what I'm going to do here, I'll just show you. We just click on there and it will just come up with the calendar, and then we're going to block out next Tuesday. Okay, and I'll show you why in a moment. Okay, so as you can see right now, we're available every Monday to Friday. We're not available next Tuesday. The great thing about Kartra is obviously it's a payment gateway as well, so you can actually check out software. So it's not a payment gateway, sorry, you have to use a payment gateway like Stripe or PayPal or Authorize.net, places like that. But it is checkout software, so you can actually take a payment within this for your calls if you want to. For this one, I'm going to make it free. Okay, and then the opt-in form that we're using for this one, which we've just created, if you remember, we had so we've got the strategy booking opt-in was the first one we created, and this is the second one. So that is the one that we need. So, and then what we need to do to actually move on to the next stage, obviously you would select your team member here. Okay, it will be probably you if it's just you on here, but you can actually have different people inside of your Kartra, which could be your team member that's doing the calls. And then you would click save. Okay, and that's that done. We're now on to that. Okay, now the booking confirmation messages. Now this is, instead of actually sending the emails out from that form, this is where we send out a booking confirmation message, and we actually send out one immediately upon registration. And again, you can have this is how it's all formulated. Now, the great thing about this is if you're holding your classes on Zoom or Skype or anything like that, you can literally, actually include links in here. You can record. Good thing about Zoom is you can record it, and you can actually give your guys a copy of the recording. Okay, and you can obviously put some testimonials and some case studies and things like that in here. And the other thing about these as well, again, I'm going to come to this in a moment when we do the sequences, is you can actually create almost like landing pages within emails now. You can kind of have so many different cool features. So you can obviously reconfigure this how you want to. So I'm just going to leave that as is for now. Okay, and then that is that is done. And then we've got a couple of email reminders that we've done here. So we're going to do one a day before, just in case they might book about 3 or 4 days in advance. So we can obviously have this so that they get an email confirmation one day before, and then obviously 1 hour before is just really good in case they're out and about and they happen to forget. It's really good. People don't mind getting lots of reminders for things like this because it's handy for them to know when this is happening. So that's really cool. And then obviously you've got your gateway here, and you can obviously choose if you want them to cancel or not. I always say yes, because if you don't have that as an allowance, then obviously if they can't turn up, they can't cancel, right? And then you're going to be waiting for them. So I have that as on, but that's up to you. And then session approval. This is really cool. You can have it instant approved, or you can manually approve these. So obviously, if you just want them booking in and you don't want to have to worry about, have it completely automated, then how cool is that, right? So you can have that. And then customer support, you can include a help desk. Okay, Kartra comes with help desks. You can configure them here, and you can actually select one here. So for the sake of this, we're obviously not going to do that right now. And again, don't forget to check up here if you want to see a full tutorial of Kartra, so you can check out more about help desks and everything else. And then we're going to assign a tag. And the reason we're going to do this is because we want to, I'm just going to get rid of that. I'll show you this. So we go to booking again. Okay, and the tag we're going to select here is call booked. Okay, now we obviously need to create this because we haven't done it. So you would just go to here, and then you'd put it into this category here, our booking category there, and then you would call it call booked. Okay, so I've already created it, so I'm just showing you. And then it comes up down here, and then we click save. And then we do not want them subscribed to lists or sequences or anything with this one, because this is literally all we need is the tag for this to change in our sequence. Okay, so we're almost there now. So we've basically created 3 pages, 2 forms, 1 calendar. Okay, the only thing left to create now is our follow-up sequence. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is we've already created the list because we created it when we set it up. So we need to go to sequences here. So we go to my communications here, sequences, and then we've got this sequence here. So I've already created it, but I'm going to just show you what you do. You press add sequence, you name it here, give it a public description in case you ever share it, and then this is created, and then we'll go into edit, and this will be the same place we end up. Now, what we've got here is obviously they've opted into our VSL. They haven't booked a call. So at this stage, they're going to get a welcome email saying that they've welcome to the training, and they are, you know, some cool stuff here. And then we're going to, if they haven't booked a call at the end of that training, we're going to follow up with them until they book a call. And these emails will not come out when they book a call. So the way this works is that the first thing that you'll see here is just this box that's empty. So the first thing we do is we add a tag. So I'm just going to show you by doing this. Okay, we add a tag. Okay, and the tag is going to be, okay, the category is booking. There it is. And then it's booking. Okay, and then we add that in. So it's down there, then we click save. So now we're all set up. So the first thing we want to do is we want to just send them an email. So what we do is to send an email, you drag this over here. Okay. Okay, we'd send that immediately. Okay, I'm going to go through all of these, and then I generally run my marketing every day of the week, but obviously if you didn't want this to come out certain days, you could actually select this. Okay, so we go to there, and then the name of the broadcast, I just put welcome email or something like that in there. So we'll just call that welcome, something like that. And then we've got a gateway. Obviously, just select your gateway, whatever that is, and then basically anyone reaching this step, because this is the next step in the sequence, and every single person that opts in is going to get this email, right? So that's what we want for that. You can put a GDPR notice in if you want to, if you're in Europe. Okay, you could do a split test if you want to, but for this, we're just going to do a single email. And then we would put in our subject and everything there, and then that's finished. So actually, I'm just going to do this. I'm going to delete it anyway because I've already created it. But I just wanted to show you as in real time. Okay, and then we don't need to put any automation in here, so we just click create. And then what we would then do is we would just make that active by pressing that, and we would bring that to there because that would be our first email. But what we're going to do with this one, because we've already done it, is just delete it. So as you can see, this has done this a bit weird, so we'll just reconfigure that. So that's now our first email. Now to create our second email, what I would do is I would go clone, okay, and then this is going to appear here, and then you just join it. You just drag, and I'll just show you. So you just literally from the bottom of there, you just point that to there. Very simple. Okay, then you'd activate it. Okay, and then what you need to do is to go into edit, because this is now your second email and we don't want anyone reaching this step. What we want here is, okay, so for instance, they've got the first email, they've watched the presentation, and they booked a call. Okay, when they book a call, they're going to get a tag call booked, right? So we only want them to get the next email if they do not have the tag call booked. And that means that these emails will stop once they've booked a call. We stop hassling them basically once they've booked a call. So so that's what we would do there. I'll just show you how to do that. So we go, does not have tag, and then we go to booking. And as you can see, we've already created our tag here, call booked. There we go. So we put that in there. And then we would, and the other thing we would change on this second email is we would just make it a certain amount of time later. So this is up to you. I usually do them 1 day apart. So once that's 1 day apart, we would basically, we've then got that second email is going to go out. And the only thing we need to change, obviously, is our indoctrination series. So the only thing left to change here on all of these is the email content. So obviously every day we're going to obviously give them something different. So to change the email, we just come into here. Now this is the bit I wanted to show you because this is what's really cool. So you've obviously got this is your title that's actually going to go out to them. This is your email content. Now obviously I've just put something rubbish here for now. But what you can do if you want to create like more snazzy emails, you've got some amazing design templates here that you can select from, or you can create your own, and you've actually got a drag and drop builder here as well. So you know, like as you can see, I've created some of my own. So this is one that I created for one of my courses. As you can see, something like that, it's just insane. And this is my one of my emails that comes out for one of my courses. And as you can see, look, you know, they can actually, that goes directly to the checkout, all formulated, a bit like a landing page really. And then you can save, if you want to, you can save this as a template to use in other emails. If you just need to change out some of the content, you can test it, send it to your email so you can actually see. And then how you would then save this is you would just click the edit button up here. Okay, but I'm going to go back to basic. I'm going to click edit and keep it like that for now, just because this is mainly framework. Obviously, once you're inside of Kartra, you'll be able to see how to configure this. But the best thing I always find is get the framework completed first, so everything's working, and then you can go in and sort of work on the design afterwards. And then it's simply just cloning these and then changing the emails. So the only thing you need to change in all of these is email, because you know, as you can see from here, actually, if you view this, you'll see all the automation here. That comes out 1 day later. That will only come out if they haven't booked a call. The only thing we need to change is the email. Okay, but we don't have the edit button there because that's the here. And then at the end, we just put an unsubscribe to list here, so we can drag that in from here, unsubscribe to list, and then all it does is that takes them out of this list because we're now finished. Okay, and if we want to assign a tag that they didn't book a call or something like that, if we want to follow up with them later, we could do that as well. You know, basically you can assign a tag, like you can just put add or remove a tag here, didn't book a call. So you could put in an automation there. If they didn't book a call, put a tag, never booked a call, something like that. You know, there's so many things you can do here. Obviously, I'm not going to go into like deep integration here, but I just want to show you that this is all done. There we go. So you've now got the entire the entire framework completed. So now what we need to do is we've now got the calendar, we've got the autoresponder sequences, we've got all the 3 pages, and we've got the 2 forms. So the only thing left to do now is to just literally go in and just connect all the dots. And basically, yeah, I'm gonna show you how to do that. So what we do here is we're gonna go to we'll go to my pages, and then we're going to select category. Okay, so we're going to connect the dots here. So the first thing we're going to do is go into the booking form. So we're going to go into every single form and make sure everything's working. And there was one other thing, I think there was one other thing we needed to connect in one of the sequences, if I remember rightly. But we'll check that because we want to make sure that we're going to get the emails. So we're inside the opt-in page. So what we need to do is actually just connect this form, basically. And I've already done this, obviously, but you'll just select in that first opt-in form that we created. That's all ready to go now. We'll click apply. Okay, now if I remember rightly, there was one other thing inside that opt-in form that we had to go back and do. So we'll go and do that next. So that's all done. So that's now connected. Now the other thing you can do in here is that opt-in form, we didn't actually change the color of the button or the button text. Now you can put that in here, and you can obviously select whatever color button you want here. So you might want a nice green button or something like that. That's horrible. Maybe you want a nice red button. Something like that. That's kind of cool. Okay, and it kind of matches that color up there. So you can do that. You do have some various options, but you just need to select the right form there. Okay, and as we configured, that will then go to the VSL page. So then all we then need to do once we've done that is press publish again. Okay, and then we're going to return to dashboard. Now, I'm pretty sure there was one last thing we needed to configure inside that form. So I'm just going to go to my forms. I've forgotten what it is, but you probably remember. My memory's horrendous for things like this. That's why I have to have it all laid out what I'm doing. So we go to, just go to save and next, just go through the fields. That's fine. So we're going to the VSL, that's fine. We don't send a welcome message, that's fine. Assign tags, yep, that's fine. This is it. So this is saying not subscribe to a sequence, but now we've created the sequence, we want to subscribe them to our sequence. And that's why we want number 1. So that's the first one. That would normally say welcome or something. And that was it. That was all we wanted to do for that one. We want to make sure that that is connected to a sequence. So that's the first page configured. So we should now get an email once they've opted in. Okay, so that's all set up. So the next one we want to do is the VSL page. We want to connect the calendar. So we just come in here and go to edit. And here we go. So the only thing we needed to do was to change this button here. Now, from this template, I've already changed the title and the subtitle. So that obviously you can change that to whatever you want. I'll show you that. And then we just need to basically make this connecting to the correct form. So we go to link here, link to the Kartra calendar, because this is now scheduling the call. And then we just want to make sure we select that calendar we just created. And then that's that done. That's absolutely fine. And then obviously we just need to change the text again. We do that here. We can change the button calendar, the button color, not calendar. Here, obviously, if we want to do that. And then the link obviously is now the Kartra calendar. So again, this will probably say none when you first come in here. So I'll just show you. We'll just go to link to Kartra calendar. Okay. And then you'll just select it there. Okay, really straightforward. So that's that one. And then we're just going to publish that. And that is it pretty much. I can't think of anything else we need to do. So what we'll do is we'll run a test. So I'll just get my URLs here. We'll just get the first one. And we'll just check that the emails are coming out. We'll probably, obviously always recommend doing testing, guys, with everything you do. Just because, before you start kind of playing around with all the design elements, you want to make sure that this is all working. So I'm just going to take out my email address so we can see how it's going to look. There we go. And then support with TripFunnels. And then we're going to sign up for the web class. And this is now going to take us to the VSL. And we should get a welcome email. So we just check that. Okay, brilliant. So we're now on the VSL. So there'll be now a presentation here and they can book a call. So what we want to do is just check the email. So yeah, we got the email here. As you can see, look, access your training here. So it's already sent me one an hour ago. So the system's not going to send me another one because it thinks, well, I've already done that. And it's got like a really good anti-spam filter. So we know that's working because it's already sent. So that's great. And so that's that. And then what we need to do is to, we've watched the VSL. Now we want to book a call. So we're just going to book a call here. This should go through to the calendar now. There it is. There's our funky calendar. And as you can see, we can't book today because we said we don't want same day bookings. We can book tomorrow, but if we wanted to book Tuesday, you'll see that I've obviously said that you can't book Tuesday. You can try and select that, but they could choose any other day. So let's choose Monday at 2 p.m. So as you can see, this one's 2 p.m. So we click tick. Okay, as you can see, this is coming up with my name and it's saying for confirmation here. So we know it's choosing the right form. Okay, so this is it here. So we click submit. And there we go. The call is now scheduled. We can't wait to talk to you. And that is done. And we should be getting another email saying that our call is scheduled. As you can see, we've got one here. New calendar booking. Absolutely fine. And that was the one I did on the test one. So we can see that that's all working absolutely fine. Now, the only thing I would test is that I would go back in and just check that this is working in a different email address just to make sure that it, you know what, obviously I assumed that it's not sending another one based on anti-spam because I've been working with Kartra for years, but I still want to make sure that it is working. So I'm going to pause this. I'm actually going to do another check. I'm actually going to opt in again, do another check and just see that that's working. And if not, I can obviously highlight the issue here so that you don't have the same problem. So I'll be back in a sec. And as you can see, I was absolutely right. It just hasn't sent me the same welcome email twice for the same email address. I just opted in and it's now sent me the welcome email. So it means I'm now subscribed to that sequence. But I will not get any more emails from me because I have booked a call, right? Because it's actually now fired the tag. So yeah, so that's all set up. That's all great. Now, so hopefully that's helpful. If that's kind of a bit confusing and you just want to grab this funnel, I have actually made it available specifically to anyone who watches this video. So you can actually grab that. It's just $47 one-time payment, and you'll be able to grab that and import that directly into your Kartra account. Now, if you sign up underneath me, obviously you do get a bunch of bonuses. You get a free traffic course where I actually show you how to utilize YouTube and get front page listings where I'm generating over $1,000 a day per product using free traffic, not spending a single penny of my own money on ads, which is like unbelievable. So there is a masterclass that you can go and attend as well. I'll put the link down below so you can actually go and check that out. But if you want to get the free course, which is $997 normally, you can get that for signing up for Kartra through me. And I'll give you a bunch of other bonuses as well. I've got some other funnels in there that you get like massive discounts on and all sorts of other good stuff. You get to join my community. You've got a Facebook group, save yourself $47 a month, all that sort of good stuff. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, obviously you can find the links down below. Yeah, if not, obviously go and check out Kartra if you're kind of wanting to dig a bit deeper with Kartra. There's a link up here, or there'll be a link at the end of this video. But if you like my videos, I'm going to be coming out with more tutorials, more training on free traffic strategies and funnels. So yeah, sign up for actually subscribe to the group, hit the bell, and you'll be notified when they come out. So my name's Paul Murphy. I'll speak to you and I'll see you in the next video.